Baltimore Ravens visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. This line that obviously has moved quite a bit with the Lamar Jackson injury. We're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers as of right now as 2-point favorites with a robust total of 36.5, although there are some 37s to be found out there as well. Guys, I am as invested in this game as I am in any game. I have Baltimore teaser legs. I have an over from earlier in the week. I actually have mine at 37. Look, Tyler Huntley, Brad, is not the greatest quarterback that we've ever seen. However, among backup quarterbacks, he's just fine. He does have a propensity for some turnovers. He also can run the football, not as well as Lamar Jackson, but certainly adds that dimension to this. Baltimore comes into this game a bit down, obviously, after last week and barely pulling it out against the Denver Broncos. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are, I guess we could say, at as high of a point as they've been all year long. How do you feel about Lamar Jackson not being in there and Tyler Huntley being in there for the Ravens?
I think it's probably fair to say that Huntley's like a budget Lamar Jackson. Obviously the Ravens, they're smart in the way they build their team, and they got someone who plays a very similar style. And it seemed like all he does is play close games. You look at his record last year; it seems every game is pretty much within one score. And in this rivalry, I think the teaser leg you mentioned is obviously. I mean, it has to be a good play with that total and with the history of these two teams. I think I saw the underdog is like 12-1 against the spread. These because anyone getting points when it's basically a coin flip is valuable. It's not one I've played personally, just because I don't really know what Tyler Huntley is. The Ravens have been very good since they traded for Roquan Smith. They've been like the best run defense in the NFL, like 25% success rate allowed. So that could force the game onto young Kenny Pickett here. And, again, is that something you want to be trusting, especially as a favourite laying 2 points? So, yeah, I think that teaser leg is great if you can get that.
Brad has finally reached the age where he's calling rookie quarterbacks young. It's very interesting. We always thought of him as our baby, but here he is calling Kenny Pickett young. Add to the point, Stephen, about Roquan Smith, is a run defense grade in the 40s that has basically doubled by PFF since he got to Baltimore, and so this defense is playing well. We know that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, however, has looked quite a bit different, unsurprisingly, since TJ Watt came back. So what do we think of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, I'm with you guys on the teaser leg. I think the tougher question is, what do you pair it with this week? There's not a ton of options. What I did was take a kind of a non-traditional teaser, took the 6.5 to get the Chiefs down through the 7 and the 3. So Chiefs minus 2.5, and then the Ravens on that. And the other option I think is probably the best is Ravens with the Eagles this week. So we'll get to that game in a minute. But I echo what you guys are saying here. I've been buying on the Steelers since they came out of the bye. I think I've bet on them 3 straight weeks now. I'm not going to do it this week because I do think this is a bigger step up in class than the games and the success they had against the Saints, Colts, and the Falcons. And I expected to see more out of the Steelers offense against the lowly Falcons defense. They didn't really impress me in that game. So I'll be back on the Steelers next week when they're playing more bottom of the barrel, bottom 10 teams. I've already bet on the Steelers minus 2.5 against the Panthers, just in the outside possibility, that they win this game. They are favored in the game, and I didn't want to risk that line next week going to a full 3. So took the Steelers on the look ahead against the Panthers. But for this week, John Harbaugh knows this team inside and out, this Steelers opponent. You have to go back. I think it's been 9 consecutive games to find the last time that the Ravens lost to the Steelers by double digits, and that included some games with Tyler Huntley. So great teaser leg this week for sure.
What I like about Baltimore in particular is that they've now had a week to prepare with Tyler Huntley. They've had a week to tailor the game plan more to him than to Lamar Jackson. It wasn't great last week, and yes, in the time that he was replacing Lamar Jackson last year, 3 big-time throws, 8 turnover-worthy plays for Lamar Huntley, for Tyler Huntley. I'm going to combine names all day today because it's early here on the West Coast. But there also was nobody else available on that team at that point when he was playing last year. Everyone was hurt for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not saying that the receiving core is any better, because it's not, but the offensive line is in better shape than it was for Tyler Huntley last year.